Hello everyone. Today we are going to be reviewing the Batman. So this is the first movie I've actually gone back to theaters to see because they're done doing the whole vaccine passport thing, and I guess masks are finally going to be removed as of March 21st. So it seems like we're finally getting back to normal living after a long stint of dealing with this COVID-19. So anyway, we're just going to get right into the review because, actually, I will pull up the cast list because I always do like to do that to let you guys know who was playing who, and then I can kind of go based off memory because there's actually some actors that I don't know their names, but I have seen them in other stuff. And, the performances in this movie were just absolutely excellent throughout. And I guess while I'm talking, I just did finish up season 2 of Screen Queens because those reviews will hopefully be going out around the same time. I think I'm gonna start paying attention to what order I'm doing stuff in, but there will be more content coming to my second channel too first before I think I upload. Actually, I'll probably upload these at the same time because I want to get the movies that are coming out this year uploaded as closely to the date as I can. So, we'll see here, right, the Batman. Oh, come on, hopefully this loads. And now I'm going to continue watching finish watching Van Helsing Season 5. Thankfully there was a recap so I can kind of remember where I am. I'm sure once I see a couple episodes it'll all come back to me, but we're just going to go off of this Wi-Fi because I have too much running on it right now. So okay, so the cast list. Obviously, as most of you probably know, Robert Pattinson played Bruce Wayne, or the Batman. Zoe Kravitz, who I guess was supposed to be cast as Catwoman way back in the Dark Knight series. Now, I don't know, how old is she? 1988. I think she might have been a little too young. Maybe? I don't know. When was the Dark Knight made? I can't remember the exact year, but it was a while ago. So she'd be what? 1988. Oh my god, I don't know why I can't do the math on that. Well, she'd be 34 now. So I think, yeah. I don't know. Apparently there was just some complications and reasons why she didn't get the role that just came out. So, but I don't want to get into that because that's a whole different kind of thing that we're talking about there. Anyway, and then Jeffrey Wright played Lieutenant James Gordon. Colin Farrell played Oz, or the Penguin, as we know him better. Paul Dano, who I know I've seen in other sorts of films like this, where he kind of does play a bit of like the crazy character. I'm just trying to think of what else I've seen him in. Oh yeah, he was in Prisoners, okay. What else? Oh, Cowboys and Aliens. Oh, Night and Day, okay. I knew I'd seen him in a few other films where he's kind of played the same sort of character, and he fit the Riddler so well. This was a much darker film, I would say, than the previous Batman's, like even darker than what The Dark Knight was. And then we have John Turturro playing Carmine Falcone, Andy Serkis playing Alfred, and I guess that's pretty much the entire main cast, yeah. Okay. So, in this movie, the Riddler seems to always be one step ahead of the Batman, and this was more geared towards, for sure, like the detective side of Batman, more than like the action-packed movie you would normally get, and I think the darker theme really worked. Like, I absolutely enjoyed this movie, and this is a long movie. Like, it was almost a 3-hour movie, but it didn't feel like that, and I like when movies can do that, where it doesn't feel like it drags out. Now, I will say, the very beginning of the movie was kind of slow, and it took me a while to get used to, like, the Riddler's character, because it almost seemed like he was, I don't know how to describe it. it almost seemed like he was acting even within the film. But yeah, him trying to put the pieces together, they kind of told the story almost in reverse order because as you go throughout the movie, Batman is slowly discovering what his family was actually like and the reason that they were killed, as opposed to just, they died and now he's just out for vengeance against everybody. Oh, whoops. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, I just hit that by accident and almost knocked the camera over. So where was I? Yeah, so he's... God, what the hell? I'm not sure what's happening here, guys. This is not the type of thing I wanted to have happen during a review, but I guess... Okay. Okay, I'm just going to move back a little bit. Hopefully that stops. I don't know why I did that twice, but anyway. Yeah, he's discovering why his parents were killed as opposed to just, going out and fighting crime when he's an adult. I mean, he still does that, but it seems to just be a focus of mainly two enemies in this. So, was it the Mahones? What was the... Trying to remember the family. I'm trying to remember the family name that came before all of this, and the reason the Penguin was dealing the drugs and stuff. It's right on the tip of my tongue too. I want to say Mahomes, but I don't think that was right. It could be right, but I'm not 100% sure. So, yeah, there was this family that I guess was dealing drugs underground. Or was it one person? It was either a family or one person. I think it might have just been one person, now that I'm thinking of it. If I'm remembering correctly, that part of the story. Oh my god, it's been 2 days since I've seen the movie and I can't even freaking remember it. That particular part, for whatever reason. So anyway, eventually the Batman does discover that they haven't shut down this drug operation, and I guess the Penguin's still running it. And he has these two clubs. Obviously, one of them is like a front, and then the other club, the underground one, is the real club where Falcone works, and they do all their underground, like their underground dirty work, I guess is what you could technically call it. And then when Bruce Wayne finds out that his dad had had Falcone hired to kill somebody for him, I guess he kind of discovers that his family wasn't who he really thought they were. And I guess he kind of feels in a way that he's been fighting for the wrong thing. And obviously the Riddler was targeting him the entire movie. So there's kind of this back and forth of how far will Batman go, and I guess how dark can he really get. But the suit in this movie was absolutely cool. It had like tasers on it and stuff, I think, at the very beginning when he's fighting the goons on the train. I think that was supposed to be the Court of Owls. I could be wrong, but I believe that's who they were supposed to be. So I guess we'll see. And then it kind of seems very similar to the Joker, where the Riddler wanted to get caught just so he could say to the Batman that they had done this together. And you do discover at one point in time that I guess when they were kids, they went to school together, like they were both orphans. But obviously Bruce was taken away and helped out by Alfred. who was played by Andy Serkis, and I guess Alfred basically raised Bruce, right? So kind of the same in this movie, and yeah, he does. So the Riddler targets two groups of people: anybody connected to Batman, and he already knows that he's Bruce Wayne. So clearly, clearly the Riddler has done his research, right? And he leaves these little riddles behind, and also these ciphers in each trap that he puts somebody in, so that they have to decode it and try to figure it out. And at one point, he attacks Alfred. Luckily, Alfred was able to live through the attack. And yeah, all the political figures he kills were all dirty. So, like, dirty cops, dirty politicians, and whoever else. But yeah, this movie was definitely more horror-based, I would say, as far as the Riddler goes, because each time he kills a victim, he, like, takes strips of duct tape and wraps it around their head after he's killed them, and then writes, like, a little, I guess, kind of like a taunt, like "no more lies" or something else that he would write. And I did notice throughout the movie that his writing changed slightly, just a little bit. And each time the Batman got into like an intense situation, the musical scores were absolutely great in this movie. Yeah, the music would intensify, and it also changed a little bit based on the situation. Like, it wasn't too big of a change, it was really subtle, but like the more intense the situation got, the darker the music seemed to sound. And the ending scene where the Riddler gets caught, and then he explains to Batman that he was trying to make him do everything with him together, and then he blows up like a bunch of vans on the shoreline of Gotham, and yeah, floods most of Gotham, and then he has this whole group of people dress up as him and come to the stadium in the middle of Gotham and try to, I guess, take out the last of the political figures. But Batman does save the day. That scene was absolutely, like, the action scenes, the attention to detail in the action scenes were absolutely epic. Especially the scene with, now I did notice this right away, like, clearly Robert Pattinson took this role very seriously, because, like, his footwork and stuff, and yeah, definitely his footwork, because when Catwoman's trying to attack him in the apartment building after the first political figure was killed, and she goes back to get her, I think it was either her girlfriend's passports or her friend's passports, but her friend ends up getting killed by Falcone after she tells him that about the whole secret thing. And I don't want to spoil too much about that, because otherwise, yeah, otherwise I think that'll ruin too much of the movie. So anyway, but yeah, so her friend gets killed. I believe it might have been her girlfriend. I'm not entirely sure, because she did call her babe at one point, or honey or something. So, but she was in love with the Batman too, so it was kind of weird. But I guess there's always been that whole kind of love aspect between the Batman and every kind of super, yeah, every kind of other vigilante that he's been with. He kind of just has that effect on them. I don't know why, or they have that effect on him, like certain ones like Poison Ivy and so on and so forth. But yeah, so the secret comes out, her friend dies, so obviously now she's going after Falcone, and Falcone is her father, so that's pretty crazy. Which is weird, because he goes by, yeah, his last name is Falcone, her last name is Kyle, right? Unless she just changed her name and her actual name is Selena Falcone. That would be crazy. So yeah, Carmine, yeah, Falcone ends up getting shot because the Riddler tells him to bring the rat out into the light. So I guess, yeah, Falcone was the rat. And why was he the rat again? I guess maybe because he was working for both sides. That could be, if I'm remembering correctly. See, it's so hard. There was so much. I'm gonna have to watch this movie again, because there was a lot going on and some things you kind of missed. But yeah, I believe maybe that's why they called him the Rat. There was something else to do with the drugs too. There was, yeah, I believe that was why. Anyway, he was known as the Rat in the end once they discovered everything that was going on. What else was I going to say? Oh yeah, when he blows up the shoreline, and then yeah, the action scenes, right? That's where I was going, and then I kind of went off on a tangent. So yeah, the attention to detail and his footwork, because he was just stepping over everything. Selena was trying to hit him with, aka Catwoman, and they end up kind of working together, in a sense, when she goes back into the club to help him find out more information about what's going on underground and all the dirty cops and who they are and so on and so forth. And I guess Falcone thinks he's going to get away with everything because he has a lot of cops in his back pocket, but turns out that didn't work out the way he thought it was going to, and he ends up getting killed by the Riddler. A penguin almost kills him at one point, which is crazy. And yeah, the chase scene, the Batmobile wasn't like a crazy car. It was just like kind of like a muscle car with like a huge jet engine on the back, and I think the simplicity of that kind of made it even more like awesome, that it wasn't like a totally indestructible car. His suit, on the other hand, was was absolutely 100% bulletproof. Bullets would just bounce off of it. Like even a shot from a rifle that the other people dressed up as the Riddler were using at the very end scene, where he blows up the whole roof to the stadium and then flies down and starts fighting them all and just throwing them over, and they're all carabiner clipped in, and oh my god, that scene was just absolutely epic. So yeah, definitely go see this movie. I think this might be, I'm not gonna say this will be my only 11 out of 10 of the year, but this is definitely going to be my first 11 out of 10 of the year, and I will definitely be buying this movie probably on pretty much any platform I can, because I really want to support this movie, and it definitely left it open for a sequel, because at the very end, obviously, the Riddler is in Arkham prison because he's just absolutely insane, and he ends up meeting the Joker at the very end of the movie, and there is a little end credit thing, but I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it is enough to have some foreshadowing, again, for a sequel, just because. So even if you think it was a little funny, the end credit thing, just because it was so short. But yeah, I think it does say enough about what could potentially happen in the second movie, if there is ever going to be one. I'm really hoping that there is, because yeah, been waiting the better part of since like 2019, I think, basically, for this movie. It was supposed to come out in 2020. Then obviously we know what happened in 2020. Then it was 2021 maybe, and then it was like, then they kind of just put the 2020 or the 20 with the 2 question marks. So yeah, I wasn't even sure when this movie was actually going to end up being released, but I'm happy that it's finally here. And yeah, I think that's pretty much all I can say about this movie. And I think I might watch it again and do like a re-review of it, just because there are some things that I know I'm forgetting or I don't have right, I believe. I'm hoping I have everything right, but I might have some stuff wrong. So if I do, I apologize, and I will be watching this movie again, and I will re-review it, because I think I want to do that anyway. Just, yeah, kind of. Just because trying to do a review 2 days later after watching a movie, sometimes it's hard if you're not remembering everything correctly, but yeah, we'll see. Anyway, yeah, definitely go watch this movie in theaters. Yeah, it should still be in theaters when I upload this. Hopefully it's in theaters for at least probably maybe a month or two. So I'm hoping this movie lasts anyway, because it does seem to be a popular movie, and it is making a lot of money. So fingers crossed that it does stay in theaters for some time anyway. And yeah, that's it. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye for now.